Hi everybody. Today I'd like to tell you how you can convert your guitar into an octave mandolin. I can't play the guitar, but I can play the mandolin just a little bit. And I'll try to make this quick and then add a little commentary after I'm done. The main question is, what are the strings that you can use? What are the gauges that will work? And maybe you don't want to buy a whole lot of different strings. These are the strings that worked for me so far, and I'll give you some commentary on them when I'm finished. I've purchased this set of strings from D'Addario. It is the D'Addario EZ920 medium light gauge for acoustic guitar. It's from 0.012 to 0.054. It's a full set of 6 strings. Conveniently, out of this set of 6 strings, I was able to use 4. The gauge I use for the E string is just a standard guitar E string, so that's 12, or 0.012, right? For the A string, I used 0.016 or 16. For the D string, I used the guitar D string, which was a 0.034 or 34. And for the G string, I used a 44 or 0.044 gauge. These strings are not perfect. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute, but this is what it sounds like. I've got a capo on the 5th fret, so I'm sort of in mandola territory now. And you can see I've also got one more string where the 6th string would be, where the low E string would be. And this is, I'm not sure of the gauge. It's a string someone gave to me a long time ago. They gave me a whole set of them. I believe it's around 60. And this string has some problems. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a moment. But it's playable. So I can get a 5-string chord with a low C when I'm playing a C chord, for example. Now it's not a C chord at the moment because I've got the capo on, but let's take it off and let you hear what that sounds like. So that's with no capo. Okay, there it is. That's the basic introduction. Now, just a little bit of commentary on what this means. I've heard a lot of people talk about the possibility of damaging your guitar. I did this on a guitar about 5 or 6 years ago. There has been 0 change in the guitar's performance since then. It's a different guitar, not this one. This is a gift to me, actually, which has been sitting around. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I couldn't remember the gauges of strings that I used in my previous setup. So unfortunately, I waited for months and months, maybe a year, before I even touched this guitar, because I don't want to play it as a guitar. I want to play it as an octave mandolin or a mandola setup with the capo. So that's why I'm making this video. So those of you who are out there who may want to know a quick solution to this problem will have your answers. Secondly, the gauges are not as they are with this set and these gauges. They could be improved upon. For example, the A string. I think it sounds okay, but it's a very light gauge compared to the other strings, or compared to what you would have on a mandolin or octave mandolin. The E string is pretty standard for guitar type action. It's quite comfortable. You can still bend it. You can play vibrato. However, I think the A, instead of using a 16, you might want to consider using 20 or 0.020. I believe I'm on a 24-inch scale length here, getting these results, which is a pretty standard scale length for guitars, right? Next, going down, I've got the 34, the standard guitar D string, right? I just used that and moved it up one position. up being towards the ground or up towards the higher note, which is the E. So this would normally be where I have the G string now. But in fact, it's a standard guitar string. So I think the 34, it's quite comfortable, but it's a little bit tight. If you want to bend strings, it's not bad. It's not bad. And then the G string with a gauge of 0.044 or 44 is also, again, very nice. One thing I'd like to add, comment I'd like to add here as well, is that I did not know this, but guitarists have a massive range of flexibility in the gauges they use for each particular note. That's why it's so easy to do this. Depending upon whether or not a guitarist likes a light touch, which means that they can bend the strings more easily, their fingers won't be so tired, right? However, there may be issues with slightly less accuracy with intonation, things like that, depending upon their technique, particularly coming from a mandolin type instrument, mandolin family instrument. You're going to find that some of these strings are very light, right? So you want to be aware of that. That's basically all the information I wanted to share today. I hope this is useful for somebody, as it would have been for me as I searched YouTube trying to find the answer for this question. How can I set up a guitar like a mandolin? And now I'll play a little bit of music for you. Back in Mandola territory here. Folks, take care. One other thing, for those who might be interested, this is a guitar that was a gift to me. That's one reason why it sat in the case for so long before I touched it. It's a Chinese guitar. It's called a Covenant. They make a variety of models. It's an interesting, I know the owner of the company, and I helped him out with some work. And he was kind enough to just give me this guitar. It has a variety of functions like reverb and things like that built in, which are unusual for at least in my experience, unusual for an acoustic guitar. But this is not a commercial for this guitar. But I do thank him for his kindness to me, because in fact I didn't require any payment for the work I did for him. I wasn't. Don't want to break it. All right, folks. Take care. Have a great day. Be safe. Be happy. God bless everyone.